Turn on, tune in, take off. A series of study support podcasts designed to launch you into university study. Episode 3. Introduction to Time Management. Hi, my name is Paul Richardson and I'm one of the administrators for the Learner Support Team. Today we're talking about time management. To present the topic, I've invited two students currently studying at Sheffield Hallam University to share their experience of managing time. So, could you please introduce yourselves and tell us a bit more about how you organise your studies?
Hi, my name is Amy and I am a third year psychology student at Sheffield Hallam. Time management is really important for me because I have to combine study with part-time work. I also like to see my friends regularly and have a healthy social life, so I need to plan my time carefully to be able to fit everything in.
Hi, my name is Steve and I'm studying MBA in Industrial Management. This is the first year in Sheffield Hallam, and I also work for the part-time while studying, and I find it really difficult to fit everything in. I often think I don't have enough time for my studies, and I know I tend to leave things to the last minute, which doesn't help.
Well, I used to have the same problem when I first started here. I felt so busy with my job and going out, I couldn't really fit enough time to study. But then I realised that if I didn't take control, then I'd fall behind with my studies and it wouldn't be easy to catch up.
Tell us what you do differently now.
Well, when I first started, I was quite confused. I was still unclear about what to do and when. So I actually spent a lot of time being unsure about things, starting one thing and then another and not really getting anywhere.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. By the time I go to library, find books and start reading, I realize I need to rush for a lecture.
Yeah, well, I realised that my problem was that I didn't have an overall plan. And that wasn't as difficult as you might imagine. I started comparing it to planning a holiday. Just think of your trip to the UK to study here. You had a carefully thought out plan with specific deadlines. Deadline to apply, to get your visa, book your plane ticket and prepare for the journey. You had a purpose, which was coming to university, and you worked out a plan and sorted your time to meet all the deadlines. Planning your studies isn't much different.
Well, I see what you mean. We have deadlines for our written work at the start of the term, and we know when our exams are. But I still find it difficult organizing the time in between to actually study.
Well, I started with making a term study plan. You could get a wall chart, but I bought a diary and noted down all my lectures, tutorials, seminars, submission dates for my essays and projects. Then I wrote down my exam dates. Then I picked out fairly big chunks of time to spend on studying. My part-time work is hourly, so I can choose when to work.
That's a good start. Put all your major deadlines and time commitments in. But the most important step is blocking out time to work on your own. Effective studying requires a lot of time, probably more than you think, and juggling part-time work can be difficult. Steve, do you think that would work for you?
Well, I haven't got the flexible hours at work. My hours are fixed to late afternoon. So for me, I would have to slot in my work hours before I can plan my study time.
Yeah, and there's no reason why that can't work. But then you may need to compromise with your social time. So the time you spend with family, friends and going out, you need to put that in your diary too.
I like to go out after I have handed in something in. It's like a personal deadline. If I haven't finished it in time, I won't be able to see my friends.
Yeah, so once I've created the chunks of study time, I define tasks for it. So I need to plan what I'm hoping to achieve in this time. I find it easier to think about it in weeks. Each week I'll have a general idea about what I'm hoping to accomplish. It could be that I need to finalise my research and write my assignment, which is due the week after. But at the same time, I will define smaller tasks, for example, to write the first draft of the main section of the essay. and then allocate them to specific time slots. Then I put all of this in my diary.
Another good tip about tasks and time is to be realistic. Don't be overambitious setting tasks you can't realistically achieve. It'll only make you feel anxious and unhappy. Instead, set small objectives and give yourself a small reward when you achieve them. Know your limits. If you find concentrating after 30 minutes of studying difficult, then take regular breaks. Have 10 minutes of fresh air and then return to studying. That's why setting tasks and interim tasks is important. But equally, don't become too task-obsessed, because you may end up spending too long on one and neglecting other work.
So, has this helped you avoid leaving things to the last minute? I don't like the feeling of being rushed, having that kind of time constraint, and most of my friends are usually still writing assignment the night before it's due.
Yeah, having a to-do list and prioritising helps me when I need to allocate the tasks to the study slots I have available. I also tend to break large pieces of work into manageable chunks and set up early deadlines. So if my assignment is due Friday next week, I'll aim to finish the final draft on Friday this week. So that way, if I fall behind somehow, I have still got enough time to finish it before the deadline.
I prioritize by the kind of work as well as by deadline. If an assignment doesn't count towards my end mark, I won't give as much time and energy to do it. Assess work is a way more important and worth more effort, so I would plan that first.
Also, remember that perfectionists always have a backlog of work. Aim to produce a good, competent piece of work, not a perfect one. Think carefully about effect and reward. So Steve, do you think planning like Amy will help?
Yes, but I don't think that's enough. Keeping notes organized so you don't waste time when you sit down to study is really important too. And I can't concentrate if my room's cluttered or if I don't have enough space to spread my books.
Yeah, but Steve, don't use that as an excuse not to work. If you know you're untidy, then set aside half an hour a week to clear up your desk. And what you said about rewarding yourself when you finish a task is a great idea. Treat yourself to a night out to the cinema with your friends or something. It'll keep you motivated while you work.
Well, I think that's about it from us. I'd like to thank Amy and Steve for sharing their insights into time management. Amy, where did you get your ideas from?
Well, my older sister gave me some tips, but it wasn't until halfway through the first year that I actually listened to her. I also discussed it with friends.
Amy was lucky to have someone to talk to and seek advice. But if you, like Steve, and to be honest, like me when I started university, if you find it difficult to manage the demands of work and study, or if you simply find it impossible to get down to study, don't struggle alone, ask for advice. If you want further practical help, you can use our drop-in study practice, which offers 20-minute appointments in both ATSETs and collegiate learning centres. Go to Shoespace for more information. Alternatively, for more in-depth help, you can book a 40-minute education guidance appointment in Student and Learning Services by phoning 0114 225 3813. This concludes this study support podcast. We hope it was helpful. Now we recommend you listen to the other podcasts in the series to introduce you to other essential study skills. Good luck.